Let us start with the topic, what is democracy? Why democracy? Slideshow by Dr. Jaya Kumar. Let us be introduced to the concept of democracy. Rights, voice, choice, freedom, participation, representation, citizens. Democracy. Let us define democracy. Democracy is government by the people in which the supreme power is vested in the people and exercised directly by them or by their elected agents under a free electoral system. In the phrase of Abraham Lincoln, democracy is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Let us introduce us to democracy as a concept. Democracy may be a word familiar to most, but it is a concept still misunderstood and misused in a time when totalitarian regimes and military dictatorships alike have attempted to claim popular support by pinning democratic labels upon themselves. Democracy falls into two basic categories, direct and representative. Direct and representative democracy. What do we understand by direct democracy? In a direct democracy, all citizens, without the intermediary of elected or appointed officials, can participate in making public decisions. Such a system is clearly only practical with relatively small numbers of people in a community organization or tribal council, for example, or the local unit of a labor union, where members can meet in a single room to discuss issues and arrive at decisions by consensus or majority vote. Ancient Athens, the world's first democracy, managed to practice direct democracy. What is representative democracy? Today, the most common form of democracy, whether for a town of 50,000 or nations of 50 million, is representative democracy, in which citizens elect officials or representatives to make political decisions, formulate laws, and administer programs for the public good. In the name of the people, such officials can deliberate on complex public issues in a thoughtful and systematic manner that requires an investment of time and energy that is often impractical for the vast majority of private citizens. Now, let us understand the merits of democracy. What are the merits of democracy? Democracy ensures personal freedom for the individual and recognizes the dignity and the freedom of the individual. All are treated equal in democracy, and the idea of equality is accorded importance. People are encouraged to display more interest in common issues. Democracy gives responsible and accountable government. The democratic form of government is run by the elected representatives of the people of the country. It is the people of the democratic country who rule the country through the representatives. Thus, the elected representatives act responsible for the well-being of citizens of the country. Democracy ensures popular control and popular responsibility, and the elected representatives remain accountable to them. Self-government. Democracy has gradually become universal because it is inevitable. Man is born with an innate tendency to be free, and he cannot help feeling that he should govern himself. He may be more effectively governed by others, but he will say that good government is not substitute for self-government. And in actual practice, democracy has improved the lot of common man beyond the dreams of his forefathers who lived under kingship or feudalism. The common man is now not only freer, but he is more educated, wealthier, happier than he used to be in the past. Democracy is the best form of government, but democracy has some demerits. So let us find the demerits of democracy. Indirect or representative democracy, as the size of states is becoming larger and larger, we have to content ourselves with indirect or representative democracy. We vote for our representatives and it is they who carry on the government, and the common man relapses into political indolence. So the vast majority of people who form the electorate are politically active only once or twice in 4 or 5 years. Very often it is found that the elected representative is a power-loving person. They work for their personal and ignore the interest of the nation. Lack of educated and experienced voters. A large number of uneducated voters participate in the election process, as they have very little to do in matters of government except recording their vote. They have no political experience and become victims of powerful people who deceive them with large promises and use them for their own private ends. Equal voting right to both wise, average, and innocent person. The common people have no political experience. They don't have the political wisdom. A wise, average, innocent person have equal voting rights. Ignorant people may or may not vote for the right candidate. It is only likely that a company of innocent people will elect one amongst themselves and not the right candidate to represent them. It cannot therefore be the best form of government. At times, average people fail to accept new ideas. They tend to stick to old ideas and select candidates on the basis of tradition. The masses hardly care for logic and reason. They easily react to popular slogans. Freedom to all shades of opinion. Another charge against democracy is that it gives freedom of expression to all shades of opinion. It easily leads to the formation of parties and party government. Only means talk, talk, and talk. Democratic parliaments being more or less dignified debating societies. Now, democracy ensures equality and fraternity. Democracy preaches the equality and fraternity of men. The idea of the equality of man was strengthened by the idea of nationalism. Every nation felt that it had the right to be free, to throw off foreign domination. If that is so, if a nation has a right of self-determination, it follows logically that every man has a right to determine how he will be governed. The modern world is dominated by two principles, viz., democracy and nationalism. Sense of responsibility among common people. The achievements of democracy are many. It has infused into the common people a sense of responsibility and power. It has enriched the life of the people who take a warm interest in the affairs of the country and of the world. With greater and greater democracy has come greater and greater freedom. Everyone is free to express his opinions, and although occasionally there may be restrictions on individuals' personal liberty, is the goal of democracy, and there is more freedom in democracy than in any other form of government.